Alright guys, so let's do a quick Prey review.
Oh, but then we will pray.
Let me know what tell the world what you think.
Bro.
Let me know what tell the world what you think. Frankly, you can go first.
Let me go first. I thought Prey was good. It was dope. I wouldn't say. Is it a prelude?
It's a prequel.
I guess you could say it is. Yeah.
Technically.
But it was dope. I liked it. It was a good, different take. It was a different species to the Predator, which was pretty cool. I found out earlier. I went to YouTube and I found out there's different factions to the Predators, and they have different hierarchies. So that was pretty cool. So that was like a different group that they sent down. Things they could have did better, but you know, they didn't. They had some montages of her learning certain weapons, but there was no hint that she was like this great fighter. So I thought that was, they could have just delved into that somehow. But besides that, I thought it was pretty cool. I wish they did what they were supposed to do at the end and showed the 3 ships coming down. They really didn't.
Why would there be 3 ships in 1719?
They had 3 ships that came down back to the tribe to collect the body of the Predator.
They always send 3 ships to collect the body of a predator?
Not always, but if you look at the credits, there's an animation, and in the animation they showed the 3 ships come to the tribe, and then they just cut it. And then when they asked the director and stuff, they say, yeah, the three ships did come with that special tribe of predators. They don't leave the bodies there. I guess they didn't have the technology where it was self-destruct at that time, so they would have to take the bodies back. And I'm assuming that, well, in the movie when you see it, there's a gun that's been passed around and it's been in different movies.
The old musket gun?
Right.
From Predator 2.
Right.
Yeah.
So some guy gives it to the main girl. So she has that gun. She gives it to her chief. So the chief has it. So what they're saying is when these predators come down from their ship and collect their body, on a sign of peace, she must give that gun to the predators. And it's that Predator Gray. I think that's what they call him, Predator Gray. And he's the one that has it on that ship where you see it in Predator 2.
Cliff.
Yeah, why didn't they do that?
I don't know why.
That's, well, maybe,
It's little stuff like that. I could have. Go ahead.
Okay, that's fantastic. And, like, that's little stuff that would have made it even, like, more fantastic. Although, I don't know, like, where that would have fit in the movie. But anyhow, I had no problem. We see her practicing with her weapons. From the beginning, she looks skilled. She's just, like, not great. But she's clearly been training to be a warrior as long as she can remember.
For a hunter. She's been training for a hunter, right? Not a warrior.
Well, I guess they call them hunters, but I mean, how are you not a warrior when the great challenge that each of them has to face is that you have to hunt something that is hunting you, which of course, she took it to the top. I mean, I was fine. I wasn't looking for anything that I could have tweaked or added. I thought, it was really cool, a very good change of environment for the Predator series, and like, I mean, the musket, I was aware of its existence and its life, so I was like, okay, that's kind of neat. I liked how, the French are hanging out and being a problem in 1719. And I was like, well, that's just good history. Like, I was like, that's just fun. That's just like, because I'm watching with my mother. My mother's like, where did the French even come from? I'm like, Mom, in 1719.
Well, also, they were like the next step up in the whatever you want to call it, like the hunters. They had guns, so they were the next step up in the food chain or whatever.
As far as the Predator is concerned, yeah. But I kind of like that they showed us she was skilled, but she wasn't an expert. And also, she survives and she succeeds by being intelligent, not necessarily being an expert. She tricks the Predator, all sorts of cool stuff. I like how she used things from different parts of the film that she experienced, she used to make a trap for the Predator. I thought that was brilliant.
I think that was cool with that. There's a plant or sort that you take, and it cools your body, your blood.
And therefore it slows your blood flow.
Right.
But it also makes you somewhat undetectable to the predator.
Yeah.
Because as we know, they're looking for heat signatures.
Mm-hmm. So that was pretty cool.
What do you think?
I liked it. I thought I only have like nitpicks, just nitpicky stuff. The CGI at parts, bad CGI just takes me right out of. It takes me right out of a movie.
What
I
was
can't
the
help
worst
it.
CGI?
The bear was awful. The mountain lion. Just even like when they show, I really like the concept, like the snake eating the mouse, and then him getting the snake. But even the snake and the mouse was just it looked like a video game, and like little stuff like that.
I think you're being harsh. I was fine with the snake and the mouse. I'm gonna give you the bear.
Yeah, nah.
The wolf looked great.
The wolf, there was one scene where like the wolf is running. I was like, oh, a real wolf running, and then that was the only scene that I was like, everything else was CGI.
Yeah. I think the only issue with the animals they use for me was I've never seen that much blood in a snake, because there's a part where they rip a snake and the amount of blood that comes out, what the fuck is that? And you gotta like rewatch it. You just gotta see how much blood comes out. But besides that, the CGI, you can get past some of that.
I loved her dog, Surrey.
Yeah,
right?
and that dog wasn't even supposed to be in the script. They added it late. I thought that was pretty cool.
The dog was great. Whoever would like train that dog did an amazing job.
I know they're doing a dub, but I would have rather the whole movie just been in.
The dub is there already.
Is it?
Yeah, like people were complaining. So if you look on the bottom, and if you're watching the video, right before you watch it, there's actually a section where you can hit dubbed, and you can get when they're talking in their language. But it's
dubbed though.
Yeah, I was fine with not.
I didn't know what the heck the French were saying. My mother's like, "What's going on? I can't understand their accent." I said, "You can't understand them at all. They're yelling in French."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "And there's no translation, and it doesn't matter because this is great."
The big guy though, the main guy, did it seem like that wasn't his first language? Did it seem like he was doing a bad French?
But he was alright. He was kind of believable.
They were fine. How many French people have you hung out with that you could take notes? Maybe he was French Canadian for all we know.
Je suis un poisson.
And there were a lot of cool hints to other movies, right? Where the scene where she's in the mud, I was like, holy shit! Well, this is how she's gonna fight the predator. But no, she wipes all that shit off.
Yeah, I thought that.
Right.
I thought that was pretty.
No,
cool.
because she needs to find out for herself. When she gives the other dude the herb and sees that the predator doesn't notice him until he flinched or something, right? Mm-hmm. And she was like, oh, the herb cooled his blood and the predator is not seeing him. Like, she was like, the girl was just taking notes. She was a great protagonist. Definitely.
She was probably my favorite part of the movie.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But I wanted more. I wanted the Predator music and more like dramatic, like them looking into the trees, like you know that stuff like that, little stuff like that could have sent that movie like.
I know, but I mean, didn't they already do that? Isn't that the problem? We don't want to keep having people do the same thing. I thought they did it in the original Predator.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you want to keep that same.
Those are the kind of.
Well, no, but
I
I also don't, because I don't want to keep seeing the same thing. You know.
Thought that would have.
But there's something that has to be in a franchise that links them. Whether
we got the gun.
Yeah, but you also got to introduce new things, which I think they did.
Yeah, no,
you have to have a balance of both.
Yeah, I thought it was great at introducing new, and the movie's only like an hour and a half.
I didn't like the Predator's design too. The without his mask. I know it was a different faction or whatever, but I didn't. I would have rather.
Definitely a weirder Predator.
I like that it was
OG
different,
Predator
especially because I felt it leaned into a more horror thriller element. Because of course, I mean, if you're a Predator fan, you already know what's happening, right? But maybe this is your first Predator movie, which is great. So it gives you something to be worked up about, and then you got that monstrous face that reveals itself, and you're like, oh. And I feel it was wise to make it different, just so that everyone is surprised for the audience.
But not only was it different, but they added a lot of things. So there's a video game called Predator. I forgot the name of the exact game, but most of that game, you're jumping on trees to get to places, and they actually showing this in the movies how he's getting around without just running through the floor. He's jumping to tree to tree to tree, and that's straight from the video game.
And she sets another trap for him based on that too. I thought that was great.
So real quick. What's your score, Franklin? Out of 5?
Out of 1 through 5?
Yeah.
4.
4?
Yeah.
Cliff?
For a movie, 4. For a Predator movie, 5.
Okay.
I would say 4.
4. All right. 4 is across the board. Sounds like it's a pretty good movie.
It's a good movie, for sure.
All right.
It's worth the watch.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys.